need.
And we can hear the doorbell down here. You know.
This is yours.
It goes through the system.
This is mine.
All right.
Okay. So.
Are these both on here? Or?
No, one for each person. So we will start with a focusing exercise.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to start. I'm going to share one special memory I had with Leah this month. And my special memory was when we were wrestling and playing Eat You for Breakfast, which is his favorite game where we pretend we're eating him. And it's all just different colors, all the different flavors like strawberry chocolate, and he tickles him basically. And we were wrestling, and he usually asks me for hugs when he wants me to hold him up and carry him.
Mm-hmm.
But he actually asked me for a real hug twice. Oh. So that was my special memory from this month. And the other exercise is share one thing you learned from working with Leo. I definitely have been learning to just let go and give him the control that he needs. It's been challenging, but I think that's one thing that I've learned, that anything that happens here is okay, because this is supposed to be a ultra supportive environment for him. So I just try to follow his lead as much as I can and just give him all the control that he needs. Who wants to go?
I can go next.
Okay.
So, well, I think the thing that was really new for me was when we were seeing the airplanes come in here. I don't know if you've noticed that at all. He listens for them, and then he goes under the window.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize how many of those airplanes. It's like every 5 minutes almost.
About that, it depends on the day.
Right. Because then there'll be gaps where they won't do it.
There was always as many or as long.
But this one time I was in there with him, though, I mean, literally it was like every 5 minutes.
Right.
There was a plane, yeah. And it was probably 15 planes. You know, it was wild, you know. And they're so low.
Yeah.
You know, you can
right
see
here.
it. Yeah. And so he goes over there, and then, so I tried to say, well, how can I make this into a game, you know, and I started to ask him what color he thought that the belly of the plane, the next plane, was going to be. And we actually had a pretty good back and forth, because that's his problem, you know, is that he can answer questions one time, you know, but when you're trying to have an actual conversation, it's always pretty lacking, or he goes off into something else. And we just had this because he was looking at me when he was talking, and I was asking, you know, what his favorite color of the plane was, and then even when the plane came and it wasn't the color, he was like, oh, it's white.
Hello. Sit down.
So
the first exercise there.
So that was like kind of the first time that I've had that long. That interaction went for like 5 or 6 planes, you know. That could have been 15, 20 minutes, you know.
Do you remember what date was that?
Yeah, I think it was, because I do want to go back. It was from last weekend. It was, or actually I take it back, it wasn't last weekend, because it was before the snow.
So, it was before the snow.
It was before the snow. Yeah, it was just
I
before
wonder
the
if
snow.
it was because, okay, I came here that Tuesday, windy.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that results
It could have been, yeah.
being with me, because that Tuesday that I was here.
Did you guys stay by the window?
That's what we did.
Yeah.
I had the same.
They had the same.
To me, like, oh, so what color is it? You know?
Yeah.
Is it really big? And he's like, oh yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, no, he said that was
really, he said orange, and then he's orange and blue and red, and he kept saying the colors. So I'm wondering if that, what you were, you know, because it did happen with me. I didn't keep score of everything that you were saying, how many times he looked at you, but I mean, we were talking.
Yeah.
We were having the conversation, so now that was.
And so I got a glimpse of what that could be like. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty neat, you know.
So one thing that you've learned?
One thing I've learned is that it is harder than you think to give up your what you think you shouldn't be doing or something. You know what I mean? It's harder to give up your no environment. Because, everywhere's a no environment, right?
Yeah.
Even for us, it's a no environment. And it's so, you go in there with the intention, but you all of a sudden, start to pour water all over the floor or something, and you're just like, wait a minute, how do I clean that up? And you just start saying, no, I usually catch myself. But, still the no has come out. And
I think everybody had those moments.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he was putting cards in his mouth today because they're so small, and then I kind of freaked out. I said, no, can't do that. But then I'm like, no, I shouldn't say that. I should just not. So whenever you have those situations where there are things that you feel like you shouldn't be doing, like he was throwing cards from up there down here, and I was afraid I was going to break the mirror. So I let him do it, but then the next time around, the cards were gone. So just removing things.
But so I just think I learned that you really have to. It's a focus exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Being in there.
Yeah, it totally is. It's like almost like meditation.
Yeah.
You really, like the first day I did, and this is for me, I was exhausted when I got out.
Oh yeah.
It was so much of the pressure that you can't say no. So I said no like that. So that was kind of my it's hard.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you on that.
So Gabby, you go next.
Okay, are we on 1.1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was playing with the track, and he sat on my lap and started pressing the water with me.
Yeah.
And I felt like, that was awesome.
You won yours.
So that noise, he just walked in, sat on my lap, and it's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
And then one thing you learned this month, it could have been from what you listened to the CDs, or it could have been from being here.
With Leo, I think I didn't know he could read. I thought he would just memorize everything. But he just said, okay, he just knows how the book goes, So many times that he actually memorized it, and I was like, no. And then I brought the Where's My Water game, and he actually read Where's My Water. I was like, okay, you got it. I was very excited with that. But I don't know, it's actually I'm really good with kids. I always took care of my cousins, and I'm not the person that says no to everything.
Oh,
I think
that's good.
that's why they say they like me. Unless it's something like I don't want to clean up after.
Right.
Don't do it. So, but I just let him play and do whatever he wants, even taking his clothes off.
I know. Just doing that. That's been awkward.
Really?
Well, I think what started it was that he would get his clothes a little wet with the water trap, and he doesn't like being wet. So now he's just like, okay, I know I'm going to get wet, so I'm just taking it all off.
Yeah, and I even took the track out again, thinking that maybe he wouldn't. Actually, what he just did, he brought his potty out. And he took his clothes off. He would be peeing a little.
Yeah, he put the potty on this chair. I got up on it.
Yeah, just sometimes he'll play with his wiener,
That's kind of a surprising thing for me too.
Oh, yeah. So, but I mean, again.
Just let it be.
Yeah. Don't do it.
No.
Yeah. So, Denise.
For me, one was very impressive when we were playing with the planes on the cart there. That window is his favorite place, I think. He just out of my lap, out of the blue.
Yeah, he does that. Yeah, it's weird.
That's his way of saying, okay,
so,
I like you.
Yeah.
I never imagined he
You didn't think he was that comfortable with it?
Correct, yeah. And I was going to share also the day that he had the little accident. That was the freakiest. Because I didn't know what to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was freaking out, and he knew he had something, and I wanted to help him, but I didn't want to, and threw it.
How did that go? Because I was watching.
Well, I know. First of all, you frisked me. Leo. I imagine it was you. But well, you saw he just ran away.
Well, no, actually, I did see him leave. I was watching, and then I went and did something else, and then I came back, and you guys weren't there. And I go, uh-oh, what happened?
So we were here, and I knew he had done it in his pants, and I didn't know how to approach it. I didn't know. I was waiting for Fabi to come home, and she did not get here. So I was like, oh, Fabi, where are you? So he finally, I guess he got so uncomfortable, and he just randomly got out of the door. And he went running upstairs, and I followed him to the bathroom.
Oh, he went to the bathroom?
He went kind of like that way. I said, let's go to the bathroom. We got to do. So for some reason, he didn't let me in the bathroom. He closed the door at me. Why? I'm like, okay, I gotta go in and see what he's doing. So when I go in, he's playing with the toilet paper, trying to clean up himself.
Really?
So then somehow he got the diaper down, and then I was like, oh God, you're making a mess. I just want to take over these. Let me just go. And he will not let me approach him.
Really?
He was, he's like, oh no. I said, I was trying to just make him sit on the chair and on the toilet, and I'll try to clean him up. And he just wanted to do it on his own. I said, okay, let's just do this. And then he started out. The diaper was down, and he somehow is the ones that they open.
Oh yeah,
they open on the side. So we finally got rid of the diaper. So then I got rid of the socks, I got rid of the pants, and I said, I am not going to clean these up. I need to put him in under the water. That's the only way I know. So I don't care. I just hope he doesn't, hate me because of this, because he was going to be. Somebody else is doing this for me, not my mom. That's what I'm thinking. I said, oh my God, he's going to be like, I do not want to see this woman again. But I basically cleaned him as best as I could without quickly, fast, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't find the bloody diaper. I didn't know where things were. It was so, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, we came down. I dried him up, and I came down here, looked for the diaper, and he was upstairs. By the door So he sat there, and I said, oh, look at what I got. I got the diaper. Got him to, reach out to me again to not be afraid of the woman that just, that was my fear. So then he came down, I put the diaper on and said, let's just put your pants on because it's cold. And then we just, all of a sudden, just came back here. And
he was okay.
And he was fine. So I didn't think that he felt so.
I think that we've always made such a big deal about poop, and he felt so powerless, and he felt so embarrassed because, it's poop, it stinks.
Yeah, that was something we learned at the thing. We made a bigger deal out of the poop than it should be.
It shouldn't be a deal. I never.
I call it a beautiful food.
Now.
And I go, oh, you went beautiful before. And actually, he hasn't had, he used to have crazy tantrums. So he's trying to change his diaper. And now, I think I'm the only person that is really comfortable with changing his poopy diaper. But I think it's because I just kind of let go.
I've never made it.
And I try to make it very positive and try to put it in the toilet. Eventually, this is not our goal right now. It's something that we're working on. We're just in school. That's where it's important. That's where he goes. And I think that's another part of the whole anxiety, because people have pushed him so much to go and be on his own and clean himself, strange people. Which is, it's what they expected there. And he will go now. But again, it's not something that is pleasant, which he would rather hold when he's in school. That he will only go if he really has to go. So share one thing.
And what I learned, I was blown away when he read that book to me. I was like, really? She reads and you're not even 5? That was totally you got me completely out of the car. I don't know if he would read that now that you said. I don't know.
So he will read.
But he was really following the book. He was like,
anything that you have learned about yourself?
For me, I've become,
I mean, there's nothing.
I'm going to be more patient, maybe.
Yeah.
More patient, and not wanting to have the power all the time. That
Yeah, that's hard.
That kind of just stops.
Directing the flying.
Yeah. Oh, let's just do this. And
Yeah.
no, he wants to do. Then you're like, okay, chill. Let it go. That's hard.
I think like the most amazing thing for me is just being present because my mind is always racing and I'm always thinking about something completely different than what's going on right now. So being in this room has just taught me to be present and be aware because I know when I'm here, I'm here. I don't have to be somewhere else, you know. So this has been, it's actually been kind of calming and, you know, just
give you some.
Just let me release and just be here. Okay, so now Leah's going to take some notes here. For this question, I want you to also turn to your manual to the question topics for discussion. And I will share with you what mine were, what I've noticed. And we're going to take notes of everything, and then later we're going to go over what we can do to solve these problems. For me, the biggest thing this month, I mean, we've had interaction, we have lots of words, I mean, his vocabulary is just exploding. I never really honestly imagined that he would open up that fast. Because the first sessions were basically like him just doing his own thing. I mean, everything is new here. And there were toys everywhere, and he would move from one thing to the next and really not even pay attention to what we're doing. And now it's more like total different stage where he is just talking to Ton and he's commenting what's going on as he's sad and he's commenting on the airplanes. I mean, this is really new for Leo. So just the interaction, being comfortable with all of us so quickly, and just want to be in this room all the time, even after he's been here for like 6-7 hours, he still wants to come back here.
Oh, yeah. That was one of my questions.
Yeah, that was one of my most surprising
That
things.
was my question. If he not
He wants to come
pressure to be here at all,
No, he wants to come here
hang out.
all the time, like all day long. Go silent. So, I mean, we were trying to make this an attractive environment, of course, but I didn't think that. And sometimes, I mean, I'm ready to get out, and he is still wants to be here. And I'm like, okay, so if you want to go upstairs, have some juice. But the biggest thing for me, the biggest struggle has been the eye contact. So that's one of the topics for discussion. We're going to be talking about some strategies that we can work with because this is one of our goals. The other thing I have trouble with sometimes is like he moves really fast. So like sometimes he just moves to the next thing and I'm still kind of wondering how to join him in the previous thing, you know, he's already in the next. So something that we can discuss. Activities with water. I mean, I've been trying to be excited about them, but he gets wet, and then the clothes start coming off. that kind of has been a challenge for me, because I don't like, sometimes he wants to drink that water, and so that has been a challenge for me. Maybe I need some ideas on how to be okay with it. Because you get a lot of interaction, it seems like he really enjoys it. No matter, I mean, you take the trash out, but he's back in the sink, you will get something else to put in the water, you know? So,
Yeah, he's got an affinity to the water.
Yeah, and I don't, you know, if he enjoys
Like,
it.
I've never seen him reacting to the water, so I really can't comment.
Okay.
I don't know.
You're right about that. Okay, one thing that I've noticed is that his imaginative play, which is when he is pretending, or like he's playing with blocks and he's pretending the blocks are like a potty and he will make a potty, or that has really, he really surprised me, that has really taken off. And what I've been doing with that is trying to expand on it. And if he's been exclusive, like I'll do my own building, but I'll talk about it, and just keep building on what's going on, because that will give him more vocabulary, and then might keep him engaged for longer. And what I've noticed, like the biggest thing, it just blows me away sometimes, is that he will like problem solve better than I do. Like we're playing with the gears, and I was trying to make them all spin, and I wanted to put one in a certain spot, and he didn't want me to put it there. So I was like, well, but this is the only spot where everything's going to spin. And then all of a sudden, he just finds another spot, and they all start spinning. Or like he made a toilet for me, a potty for me with the blocks that doesn't tip over. He just fixes my problems. It's crazy. So this is pretty amazing. Well, that actually wasn't number 7, so I just added that. So Leah, you can go next, and I can take notes for you.
Okay. This is my sheet.
Okay.
So we're on the very first section, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions or any topics you think are worth discussing in this meeting?
Well, sometimes it hasn't happened in a while, but initially there was a lot of crying was kind of a repetitious behavior, I thought. He was just kind of going on and on.
So crying.
I wasn't exactly sure what I did to initiate it. It's almost like he just kind of has a breakdown every now and then. I don't know if you guys have seen him have breakdowns.
Okay.
And I wonder maybe if he's more comfortable with maybe still comfortable with me than he just, or maybe he knows that's how he can manipulate me. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know. I tend to act like it's manipulation. You know what I mean? So I try to tell him. I'm fingers to his brother. That's all he does.
Yeah, we can discuss that later, but we're going to go over why it's not manipulation.
Okay. But I was gonna say the racetrack too, the water track. I mean, it seems like I either can hit it out of the park by mirroring what he's doing with the other track, or it's just he's just totally.
No, you haven't played with the racetrack.
No, I
don't know. But you have. So you can give us something.
Yeah. But it's weird. I mean, I've been on top of the world because of it, and I've also
and the same thing with the window.
Get the thing out of here. I want it out of here.
It's the same thing with the window.
Yeah.
So I mean, do we leave the window like this, or do we? Because sometimes we're having an interaction, and then an airplane comes, and
I've noticed it's not just the airplane. Is the furnace too. Whenever the furnace comes on, he goes running to the
Oh, because he sounds similar. I don't
I've noticed that. Okay. All right. Anything else?
Well, I was just saying, we were talking about being naked, playing with penis,
Okay.
Yeah, that was one.
I mean, that's hard to join, right?
Especially for us.
You're like, really? That's what you're doing it too hard.
I know, right?
No.
It's right.
They can take a lot of punishment. No, I don't. No, I'm okay. That's what I got.
Okay.
It was just like asking what other people are doing to get more eye contact.
Okay.
Really, and if they're doing that, if they're getting that, what are they doing special to get that eye contact?
Okay. How do we get more eye contact?
Yeah. Like maybe some kind of activity that you've been doing that
You're already doing it and he's really looking at you.
He likes to count. Whenever I put my fingers up, he goes and looks at me and starts counting. He waits for me to put my fingers up.
Oh, really? That's pretty awesome.
That's a good idea. Whenever he's not doing anything, he was eating here, and he was just eating and kind of looking out there, and I put my finger up and it said 1. Then he looked at me like 2. And then he waited for me to put my finger up and count 3. And then I had a pen in my other hand, and I kind of put it down and to sit until I sit. So that got me more eye contact.
Okay.
I kind of have the same ones. I'm worried about the eye contact.
Okay. All right.
I don't know
Eye contact.
what else. I mean, besides moving around or trying to be in front of him most of the time, and, you know, that just works. The window is not very comfortable to do that.
Well, I am having a meeting with one of the teachers on the 13th, and I will talk to her because I kind of have the same concern. So, and this is one of our goals. We'll go over the goals here.
Now, are you guys?
You haven't not talked to the person yet?
We talked to her last month before we started.
It was like the day before we started the
Yeah.
program. Yeah.
We talk to her once a month. So.
Okay, so you're getting ready to talk to her now.
Yes.
And
And actually, this is why we're recording the meeting, because that's one of the things that she's going to be watching.
She wants to listen to what we
So that way, yeah, so, I mean, we can talk about anything here. And she's really, like, totally not I did have a sign saying.
Yeah, I'm not very sure. Yeah. There's a sign there, so.
Okay, let's see. So this is topics for discussion, creating. Put away, turn. Okay, so we can take 5. Do you guys want to drink or something? Sure. Bathroom. Food. Oh my God.
Are you sore? I go do that yoga thing.
Every time I said
Is this someone else's drink or no?
No, he just pour it.
We can get cheese, custard, and cookies.
I gave up some chocolate, so I'm going to get this one.
You did from it?
Kind of.
I kind of had a
I had a hot chocolate.
Okay. I've got a lot of food to eat. So excuse me if I don't participate. We were at the cooking house
Ooh, yum.
out there off the
Oh, did
porch.
you have your bread, Abby?
Yeah, I have. Well, yeah, I did.
well, she wasn't at the first meeting.
No, but I think was I here or?
In the old house?
Yeah, the old house.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I went to the birthday party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I've never.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah, I know you are. So, yeah, we were at 435 in Midland, now in Kansas, so. I was about 30 minutes.
Did you have fun?
We
Birthday
did.
party.
We celebrated, 4 of us, our birthdays in February.
Oh.
So, Uncle Tom, Shelley.
Beautiful shirt.
I know. I was going to say that. Shannon, and the kids and Chris got to pull me for my birthday.
Very Valentine-ian.
Yes, it is. Very pinky. So, I rented the house at my papers, but I didn't change to my jeans.
Well, we'll have Mimi share, I guess.
Here, I gave you the bigger pill than Mom is over there by the. You didn't do that, or you sit in the wood chair.
I need to sit.
Here is your,
On, probably, will this hold me up?
chair.
The blue chair will hold you. I've sat in the blue chair.
Okay. I'm having a little trouble with my neck.
And we have a ball, too, if you want to sit on.
Okay, I think this is.
This is yours.
Okay.
And we were sharing any questions that you've had throughout this month, things that you were wondering that if they're working or not, or anything really that you thought of that you're struggling with maybe, or that you wanted to know.
Well, I don't know. I think I feel pretty comfortable, about the way things are, are going with me, with Leo. The only thing I do notice is that, his energy level is different, in the morning from what it is when I do the session with him. I do the afternoon and on Mondays, and I do the morning one on Friday, so I didn't know if anybody else had that impression that he looked a little tired or he was a little draggy in the afternoon or the evening.
He's always kind of been like that.
Has he?
Since, I can't remember. He's a morning person.
He's a morning person. Okay. Nobody else
He is definitely a morning person.
a morning person.
No, never been.
Okay.
Okay, so we can talk about that when we talk about the goals.
Okay. And then, let's see, what other question?
Oh, Bob, there's those books, I forgot to hand them out, so you might need them.
Oh, yeah, you want to write on?
Okay.
You know, something.
I've been meaning okay.
Sure. Something hard to write on.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and we want you to share one special memory you've had from Leo this month.
This month, okay. Probably when, you know, we didn't know whether the window was a detriment or a plus, you know, for him. And
We have that in our
Yes.
discussion list.
And that day, he came and got me by the hand and pulled me down and then made me sit down, and he sat down in my lap.
Yeah, that's
And then he just snuggled.
I know.
He snuggled and he snuggled, and then I'd say, okay, after a while I'd say, are you cold? You know, because he took his shirt off that day. No. No. And I said, okay, do you want to play something out? And he said, no. You know, and he just kept snuggling and snuggling, you know, up next to me. And he wanted my body close, you know, close to him. You know, when I would move away, he'd get me and, you know, pull me next to it. Or yesterday, was it yesterday? No, Friday. He turns around from the window and he says, Mimi, I love airplanes.
Oh, that is so cute.
And there was no airplanes, you know, out there. But he turns around and he looked at me, Mimi, I love airplanes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've never done that for me.
Yeah, I love airplanes. And I wrote it down on here, yeah. I love airplanes. I said, oh, I know you do. I love airplanes too. It kind of took me by surprise.
And one thing that you learned about yourself, maybe? Does that have to be anything? But
That
what did you learn being here?
well, that I'm really open to learning things. You know, I felt like I always was, but you know, when you're a grandma and you've already raised children and everything, you have a certain perception of how kids should act or how you should respond to them. And I've had to, you know, just let it go. You know,
Modify it.
you know,
that is so
yeah, and you know, just go because I have his best interest at heart. You know, it's not.
And this is one thing I was going to say about these meetings. The research shows that the more meetings that we have to discuss these things, the stronger the program is and the quicker the kids recover.
Oh, really?
So that's why I was
Okay.
kind of freaking out and do like 20, you know.
Well, I mean, I think that when you realize that you're experiencing the same thing, like you're saying, I'm not sure I'm doing it right or something.
Yeah.
Until
I have the same
Leo feels the same way. Okay, so maybe I'm right on the course, you know, and so I don't feel sensitive. Then you are more confident when you're with him.
Uh-huh.
And when you're more confident, he senses that, he's more confident himself.
Yeah, like the third day, he said, what was that he said to me? You told him to say something to the Anita. I said, bye, Miss the Anita. Miss the Anita, I'm like, are you kidding me?
He is so cute.
That was adorable for me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to the beginning of our evaluation forms.
Okay.
Mine's a little bit out of order.
Oh, mine is all scribbled over.
So we're going to share the activities, the number one here, exclusive and repetitious activities, and I will go first. And I'm going to try to be as specific as possible with, you know, stories to illustrate what the activity was. So I shared a little bit earlier, for me, a lot of moving back and forth. I think that's pretty exclusive because he would just get up and he was just running around the room, you know. And I'm like, whoa, wait, he's up, okay.
Yeah, I gotta
get over all the, you know, all the stuff and all the toys. I've been really trying to move with him as soon as I realize that he's going. And he seems like I get some good eye contact with that. What I've also been trying to do, and I'm trying not to make that interrupt what he's doing or me joining him, but I've been trying to keep all the toys like in the surroundings of the room, like the corners, because that way it's easier for me.
So you don't fall down, yeah. Hurt yourself.
To move around. So I try to make it quick, and so he doesn't notice, because sometimes he doesn't like that. So as long as he tolerates corners, but yet a box that is in the corner, and that has made it easier for me to move with him. This is one. The other one is jumping from one activity to another. I've noticed throughout the month, he's done lots of that. I try to move with him to every activity, always letting him direct the play, which has been one of my biggest challenges, to just let him, but always thinking I don't want to do the work for him, and I want him to feel like he can do whatever he wants here, because the goal is that supportive environment and that relationship. And I really feel like he's been wanting to be around us more at the house, just kind of inviting us more. He says, sit by me or sit with me, all the time. So I really think this is working.
Yes.
Really think it's working. Repetitious speech, which is one of the activities where, if you notice, it's like an activity plus another activity where he's doing something but he's talking a whole time about whatever, or sometimes I can't understand what he's saying. So to join him, I talk about my own activity and about what I'm doing, and I try not to talk over him because I feel like if I do, he would tell me to stop. So I just try to be like, and sometimes even like I'll comment on what he's doing. If he's getting a little closer to me, I feel like maybe he's a little more open. So sometimes I get eye contact with that, sometimes I don't. But for everything that we talk about here, I'm going to discuss that with the teacher. And if she has some other ideas, then I will share that with you guys on the bi-weekly meeting. Laying on tables and putting pressure in his belly, so he might do it. He does it a lot because he has trouble with his belly. So when I can, he's not using that ball, I get that ball, and I do the same thing. And I find it very soothing, very relaxing to just roll that.
That's good.
So I'll do that with that bigger ball, or I might do it with the smaller ball. Sometimes I'll do it with a chair, and I get some good ideas.
Somebody would have to come down and help me outside. Heidi, I
think what you could try is maybe the stool, or you can even get a pillow, maybe put it in your belly. And
he really hasn't done much of that with me.
He does a lot, like get on the table.
He hasn't done. He's done it a couple times on the floor. Yeah, he does that before he was doing the Superman on the table.
So if you wonder why he does that, it's because of his belly.
Oh,
I thought he was trying to shoot the airplane.
Maybe
like that.
Maybe he's doing the airplane.
So that's how I joined that activity. Jumping on trampoline. Well, I think we've all been doing a great job. This is one of the easiest things to join here. We just started jumping right in front of him. I get tons of smiles and eye contact with that one. Playing with visual stimulating toys. The cars that go on the book, or the other cars or tracks, you get a lot of, so I've been trying, sometimes it's hard to sit down and move up, sit down. Sometimes I just do like this. It doesn't. I don't know. Even Tristan cannot keep up with him. Crazy. Because Tristan tries to mimic you.
Tristan does it anyway. There you go. All right.
But I noticed Friday, he barely did that at all. The times I've done this, it seems like this is getting less and less.
But isn't it amazing how?
I know.
Either. I'm like amazed by like.
Well, a lot of times it'll be things that,
she was
like the thing that he's doing too has to, like for instance, like the books with the
cars and stuff.
Because when you set it, that it does its thing, right? So he'll get up, or you do the marbles, you build it, then you put a marble, and it's got to go all the way down. While it's going down, he gets up and he jumps around. What I see now do is he's like doing laps.
Oh, yes.
He'll do laps
around it.
okay.
So those are stems. They're called stems. And it's like weird because we're like, well, we want to join him more, but we're now in a different stage where he's interacting so much more that it's harder almost. I'm like, I wish he would just jump around them. Right now, he's really making me think, you know, how I'm going to do that. So to join in with that, again, I just try to do my own, and I even try, like, he won't let me touch any of those books if we're doing the books. Or the cards. All the cards are his. So I just pretend this is mine, and I go, shh. And sometimes I get glances, sometimes I don't, but I feel like at least he feels like I'm not trying to intrude on what he's doing.
Yeah.
Now, I did notice that when he asked me for some stuff, now he wants to climb on the
And that's my fault.
Yeah, he never did
But
that.
you do with me.
Put that in there, because that's one thing that we can
Because
discuss.
he just went with me and was like, come up with me. I think that might have been my fault.
Okay.
Like, come help me, you know, and he would come with me, and I was kind of like surrounding him and trying to get him to make sure that he's not gonna fall, and I'm not gonna fall, and then I give it to him and he comes down the stairs.
But that first situation, I feel like it's something that I really don't think it's safe, or like, you know, he tells me, oh yeah, hold me up, and I just play dumb. I just pretend like I'm you were so happy. You know, oh, that's so far away, so I just wait down until he just gives up. Yeah, because he wants the thing more.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, at least that it works for me. I don't know, you
So
guys.
I've done that, like with the toilet. He wants to put things in the toilet.
Yeah.
And he's like holding them. He goes, I feel tired. I go,
He gets stuck. I think it's like the
I've
done that.
Yeah.
So,
I've done
play
the taking of the door, but I cannot open it.
Oh, yeah.
They won't let us out.
Like, no big deal. I mean,
He figured out how to
he's
open it.
smart enough, you know.
He said, this is open and this is closed. Yeah, this is open and this is closed. I said, oh, thank you.
I'm amazed though he hasn't tried to go in the basement. You know,
Right with me.
he hasn't tried.
But because he knows that won't open, he thinks that won't open either. So it's just open, so I pretend I play dumb. Okay, so looking out the window, join in the same way. Look at the airplanes. I've been expanding on it, just like you guys said, expand on. If he says, there are no airplanes, I was like, oh, where are the airplanes? Sometimes he spots them before I do.
You guys go,
What?
there's another one. And I go, what?
There's one.
And all they
I'm like, no,
over the roof.
And you're like, no, Leo, where is it? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. And I'm like, no. And then there he is.
I'm like, you're.
Okay, so this is that I found are visually stimulating activities, moving around, books, the window. I don't know what we're going to do about the window. It's in the open right now. Activities with water. I am trying to get excited about that. And Lightning McQueen and the cars and all this. I had put Angry Birds here, but now he hasn't been that excited.
That's for one. And he's dino car. Oh my god. He's obsessed with that. And I don't even know what that is. I'm like, oh god, he's a dino car. He's got names for everyone. He plays with me. And this is, I was gonna ask, because you said that you said that he wouldn't let you get a car. So I tried to like walk around it, and then somehow I get my own car and do it on the side. But then he comes and joins and takes it, and then gives it, and then gives me one. And so we switch the car.
Oh, that's great. So that is an interaction.
That is an interaction. He's not looking at me, but he's interchanging the car that I'm wearing with him. You know what I mean? So I think that that's good.
Yeah.
And that limited space there because he could get.
I try to take his card sometimes. Usually won't let me. But this is good because we're testing the flexibility.
Yeah.
Because now he's letting me get blocks out of the box. So that is good. So you can try, certainly. If he says no, then he's very territorial with me.
Okay.
That goes to your mom.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you can go next.
Okay, so you want me to do the exclusive and repetitive activity?
And what you can do.
Okay, so that the first day he was talking to himself about school friends, and saying goodbye to them.
Really?
And so I thought that, you know, his mindset was more on being at school than what it was, you know, getting involved in the activity. And so I just kind of repeated and told him.
Is that one of the days you thought he had lesser energy?
It was when we first started doing this.
Okay.
When we first started doing this. And so I kept saying, when he would say, goodbye, Andrea, goodbye, and I said, so long, goodbye, goodbye. And he didn't tell me to be quiet, and he tolerated me, you know, joining in to do that. So I went, goodbye, so long. And then he was lining up his cars, and he never has done that ever again in the other sessions that I did. And so I lined up my cars, and he noticed, and then he didn't mind me taking some of his cars from him.
Oh, that's awesome.
So because I only had like 2 cars. And they only didn't look like cars, you know. And then he had a whole bunch of them. So as he was kind of goofing, then I kind of slipped around one side and, you know, took maybe 3 of them. And he didn't say, you know,
That's really good.
Yeah,
It's just flexibility.
okay. And then that one day it was hilarious because he got the water.
Mm-hmm.